who or what are your biggest sources of inspiration?
I mean, I'm inspired every day by people. I think generally we are all navigating this thing called life, and there's little pockets of inspiration just all over. And I think if you can lean into that, you almost don't need to be looking for your big gurus, even though I do have people that I follow. So I think for me, that when someone's been brave, or someone's just doing something little, or they've noticed that they've done something little and they're achieving that I feel inspired by that. So I'm always sort of watching for where people are, what they're doing, and I love it. And I think there's something about being able to cheerlead with others. I get inspired if I cheerlead somebody else, even if it's all going a bit horribly wrong for me.
Yeah.
So if it's all going a bit horribly wrong for me, I will seek out something it might even just be on socials or whatever, that somebody else has achieved and I'm cheerleading. I love doing that. But I do have some people that I really admire in the sort of in this field, in the field that I'm in. I love Brené Brown. Yeah. I'm inspired by her. I love her work. I love her realness. She's done some amazing research which has given us some fantastic information. I love her. And I love Wayne Dyer.
Oh yeah.
He is amazing, and I've read every single word he's ever written, I think, and just speaks normal, true truth. Yeah. I like people who just talk the truth. They don't buff it up and make it look like it's easy. They just say, yeah, this is my reality and this is how it is. And I think that's where I'm always more inspired by people who give the truth, not this false ideation.
Yeah, well, that's very much what Building Bliss was about, of me going on my own healing journey, but then seeing a lot of content that was very, I'll call it wafty. I won't be any ruder than that, but a lot of people wafting around in white and everything being quite hunky-dory, and it just made me think that's not real. And I know I've been through the healing process, been through therapy, that it's quite a mucky process and difficult at times. And sometimes you just need someone else to be going, well, this is a bit shit today, actually. And you just need someone that you don't want it all glossed and varnished, do you?
I think that's pressure. I think glossed and varnished is the pressure, and I think that's part of the problem. Like I said before, social media and the internet is amazing, but it's also painting a picture, or can paint a picture, that isn't real.
And then that makes people feel worse, doesn't it? Like,
because then they think, well, I can't do that, so I must be rubbish. So then I'm self-beating, or I'm looking at other stuff, and now I'm thinking, well, what's going on for me? And it just annoys them. It's just a noise in your head that's being created by you looking at something that you think is real, and it's not.
Yeah, and then you're in a downward spiral, aren't you? Because then you just scroll more and more because you feel worse and worse, and then it's very hard to get out of it.
Yeah. So I think that's a trap that we need to pay attention to. Look for inspiration on social media, but looking for comparing your life to their life, because that's the other thing. Even if somebody is sharing, my story is where I'm now compared to where I started, is I'm a different person. But even looking at, if you were looking at what I'm doing, if you're thinking, oh, well, I can't do that. But remember, I've got a massive backstory. I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. So we've got to remember that you might look at somebody and think, wow, they're doing amazing. I'm nowhere near them. They've been on this journey. You just might be a little bit further down the road. Yeah. See yourself where you are. See yourself where you are, rather than where they are. Yeah. Because I might look like I've got it all going on. It isn't always easy every day, but also, oh my God, I have been through the mess. Yeah. It's messy. I've done it. Yeah. And I like to say I'm living proof that if you do the work, and I think you're saying the same for yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is worth it. Yeah. But it's not easy.
No. And I think it's that overnight success phenomenon that people think, like,
oh, that's where people are being sold a lie, aren't they? Yeah. Come on my weekend course for £5,000 and I'll make you the most confident person in the world. No, you won't. Yeah. Don't waste your money.
Life hack. Yeah. One day.
It drives me mad.
I think that's the big thing. I mean, for me, is that it takes effort, but it's worth it. But you have to acknowledge that some of it is pretty boring and but it's effort.
But it's
in
relentless.
the long
You're
run,
changing a habit, aren't you?
it will serve you.
Yeah, it's a journey. We don't get there. You know, as trained as my brain is, I'm still learning every day.
Yeah.
I still have stuff that triggers old stuff. In fact, I've had something this week that's triggered really old stuff. It's not as damaging because I can see it now, so it doesn't hit me as hard, but I can still like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes you don't realise, do you? Creeps
It's all
up on you.
still in
you're
there
like,
because your brain's job is to protect you.
Yeah.
So if you've had an experience, it will still keep reminding you because it's in there.
Yeah.
It's part of who you are.
Yeah. So I think that moves us on then to how you'd like to inspire others with your message.
I mean, I think it is that. It's, you know, if you see confidence in someone else, if you see growth in someone else, or, you know, if people can see that in me, know that it's a journey to get there, and it is 100% for anybody to get. I genuinely believe that you can have whatever it is that you want.
Yeah.
But it is a journey to go on, and if people could see, and people who've known me for many years, you know, when I was in the NHS, I was a worker, and I look at how I am now. You know, I'm an out there. I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I'm not just getting on with work. I'm a doer. So I think for me, it's if somebody sees me as an inspiration, then I want them to know that, for them to see that they are inspirational because they're seeing something positive to say, well, actually, I want a bit of that. But it's also staying in your own lane, do it your way. Yeah. Because I have navigated so many things trying to getting myself to date, and some of it wasn't right.
Yeah.
So I like to think, can I fast track people a little bit? You still have to go through your stuff.
Yeah.
I can't fast track you that much. You know, you can work with someone like me to clear some of the internal challenges, but you have to go through it yourself. Unfortunately, you know, like young people, you'd love to be able to cushion them to stop them doing it, but they'll have to have heartbreak. They'll have to learn how to manage disappointment. They'll have to learn how to, all these things. We have to learn how to do it. But I think if people can fast track, just maybe shave off a few years, giving a look back to all the years that I've been back and forward in one of my books, I call it the resit class. You know, you're back in the same situation, like, why does this keep happening to me? And there's massive learning there. There is a reason why you're not picking up something that's you're putting yourself back in the same situations. So I like to think if I can inspire somebody, to do it, to actually believe that they can have whatever it is they want, and then to know that it's a journey.
Yeah, I think that's really important as well, that journey shifts over time, because I know for myself certain things have really resonated at certain points, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, that's not, but that's perhaps when you've leveled up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, so now the next step is something different.
Yeah.
And I think it's perhaps people get a bit think, well, I've gone down this path now, so I have to stick to this, whether that's, you know, a Buddhist path or a particular person they're following. It's understanding that your journey shifts every time you change.
I think so. I think you know, you meet people, you watch people, you are inspired by people. Take what is right for you from that, and then there might be something else now.
Yeah.
You know, if I look at my direction, gosh, it's certainly not straight.
No.
It's been an interesting journey.
Yeah, well, that's the joy of life.
Yeah.
As we go along.